Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely summer top, and the cool thing about it is you're not going to need a pattern or anything like that. It's going to be super easy. So we're going to take one top that we already have and we're going to do the same thing. So let me show you what I have here. So I have here my fabric scissors for cutting, something to measure with as well as pins, then thread in a matching color to my fabric, and some fabric chalk to mark where I need my marks. Then I also have some bias tape. This is optional, but I think it looks nicer on the inside. Or when you wear it, it's going to be on the inside, but when you wear it, it looks nicer this way. So all of the ends are going to be nice and straight. So yeah, this is the fabric that I have for today that I'm going to be using. It's a little bit stretchy, as you can see. And you can see in the back here in a different color, the top that I basically want to copy the shape off of. So here is the top pinned onto a double layer of my pink fabric that I want to use today. And you can see all of the edges here are aligned, everything is straight and flat on here, and what we want to do is just basically follow this edge of the entire shirt and just do the exact same shape on our fabric of choice for today. So this is what makes it so easy and so simple. You just put it on here, you pin it together, and then you can cut it out and you already see the shape and form. So instead of cutting directly on it, I'm going to use something to mark. So in my case, some fabric chalk here. You can use anything else that you have as well. And I'm just going to mark about 1 centimeter more on each side for the stitches. But apart from that, it's really easy to do. And then we're going to cut it out later with our scissors. So it's going to be done in a matter of minutes and you're going to skip all the pattern work. A nice and easy way to check if everything's symmetrical and nice is just fold it in half this way and check out if all of the edges are aligning, which they should be. So here I want to fix it a little bit just to make sure it looks perfect, but apart from that, it's pretty much ready to go. So you can do the same thing again with the actual shirt and basically just align it on here and see what it looks like. Just remember that you have a little bit more fabric on here because we have 1 centimeter on each side for our stitches. Okay, so now that we did everything, I decided to do a mark on here. So this is where I would cut out the section for the neck. And apart from that, everything else is nicely aligned. I'm going to show you. So when I fold it in half again, you're going to see that all of the edges align. So what you want to check on definitely is this point here where the shirt kind of goes wider, and then the bottom as well. So just check all the corners that they're nice and symmetrical. And as I said here, I put the little mark for where I want to cut out my neck section or how deep I want it. In this case, it's going to be pretty closed off, but that's exactly what you want to do. And just make sure that you do a nice straight or oval line here on top so that it looks nice. And just keep it folded in half like this when you cut it. So now that I cut this out and unfolded it, this is what you can see, and this is exactly what we need. So yeah, this is the part of the circle that we did, or the oval line, and then it just turns into a semicircle that is absolutely symmetrical. So before you continue, make sure that you try this on right now and see if you're satisfied with the way it looks, because later it's going to be way more difficult to fix than right now. Then what you want to do is do the same on the back. So basically just align everything nicely, pin, and then just see if the end looks as nice as the front. It doesn't have to be cut out the same way, since you know that the front is usually more or cut out a little bit lower than the back. So just make sure to think about that before you get to cutting something that you don't want to cut off. And then afterwards, we're going to deal with this little end here. Okay, so now that we're done with the cutting and we're satisfied with the shape of our future top, now what we want to do is just make sure everything is aligned, all of the corners are looking good, and then we're going to pin this and we're going to stitch it up. And after you've done the pinning, what you want to do next is make sure you fix all of the open edges, so to speak, so all the places where we cut just a moment ago, to make sure that the seams are nice and everything looks neat on the outside when we wear it. So that's the cleavage section and the section where our arms go, basically every open edge on here. So what we want to do is fold it in half, or not in half, but fold it inwards like this, and then we want to pin it to keep it in place. And yeah, just make sure that everything is nice and straight. It might be a little bit more tricky to do with stretchier fabric like I have here, but it's definitely something you want to do and you're going to be happy you've done later. So make sure that the outside is nice and straight when you turn it inside out. That's what it's going to look like in the end. And since this can get a little bit tricky, I'm going to show you how you can do this with some bias tape as well. So I have here a really nice lavender shade. And then what you want to do is just put the 1/2 of the bias tape on the outside, 1/2 on the inside. Then you want to pin it and stitch it up. Now that we did all of the edges, you can see here I did it without the bias tape, but you can do it with it too. And then on the outside, when you check it, you're going to be able to see just a subtle little stitch, or maybe even not if the thread really matches the fabric of your matches the color of your fabric. But all in all, you can see all of the edges here are neat. They're all straight, they are all seamed up, so that's exactly what we want. The inside shows, of course, but that doesn't matter because the outside looks really neat and doesn't show any stitches or anything weird going on. So now what we want to do is put the front with the back, pretty side on pretty side, so basically inside out. And then what we want to do is again pin and again stitch all of the sides. So in this case, make sure you don't stitch up the places where your arms and neck are gonna go. So we're just gonna do the sides. So we want to do this little section on top and then this side here. So here on top, it's going to be just a tiny stitch because it's not that wide, but yeah, let's get to it. And here, if you want to try this cool trick, you want to kind of push the front side a little bit to the side like this. I'm going to show you what I mean. So basically you align everything, but then the front kind of goes a little bit more to the back section or the edge here. So you want the corners to align, and then that way it's going to look nicer when you wear it because it's going to be exactly on the side of your body and not too much in the front. So yeah, just make sure you pull it like a centimeter or maybe two to the back, and that way it's going to be a lot nicer. So yeah, now what we're going to do is pin all of this and stitch it up. And now you can see the finished top here. You can see the side stitch or the side of it. And I think it looks really, really neat this way. So I wanted to show you what that looks like. The bottom is also nice. And then, yeah, the rest of it. So we just have 2 more stitches here, or 1 stitch per side here on top. So I also did that as well, secured the stitch a couple of times just to make sure it doesn't rip when I put it on and wear it. And yeah, this is pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to shoot a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel. And if you click on the notification bell, you're going to get notified every time I post something new. So thanks for watching DIY Ideas, and I'll see you in my next project. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!